Hello viewers, I'm amidst repairing a set of Harman Kardon speakers, and I wanted to get some video here before I get too deep into it. So these speakers, I don't know what model number these are, well whatever, anyways, these were the ones that shipped with, I believe they shipped with the Dell Dimension computers back in the day. And for the size of them, they're actually really good speakers, and they have just a really great sound to them. And unfortunately, these have a pretty strong tendency to break over the years, and this set was no exception. For a long time now, it had gotten to the point where usually you turn it on and it's not working, and I don't know what that is. Anyways, okay, let's focus here. Oh man, what distracted me was there was some piece of plastic on this telephone, and I don't know I don't know where it came from. Actually, it looks like there's multiple pieces of plastic on this telephone. But anyways, back to this. The speakers were getting kind of flaky. Usually I'd have to wiggle the wire a bit to get it to work, or only one side would work, or whatever annoying thing would happen that was pretty unusable. But I was living with it like that because I like to use things until they're absolutely worthless. So I was dealing with it like that, and then 2 days ago it got to the point where I couldn't get it to work at all, and I wiggled every inch of the wire and couldn't get it to work, and so that was the end of it. Not wanting to give up on these speakers because I do like them, and the other sets of computer speakers that I have do not sound as good as these, I decided I will attempt a repair. And I've heard that these are very difficult to get into, and that was not my experience here at all. Pulled the front guard off, and did a couple screws on the back, undid the top 2 screws of the speaker, and it split right open. So that was a nice surprise. It came apart relatively easily. And so the other thing I did here, and some people are going to cringe at this, and that's fine, I understand why, I kind of do myself, but it didn't cost me anything and it works, so this is how we're going to fix it. I took the audio jack and I cut away all the plastic, and what I did was, now that I had the bare jack exposed, I resoldered new lead wires onto it. Now of course this is not even speaker wire, this is ceiling fan down rod wire, but this is what I have, and this is would work fine. So we're going to use it, but the original wire, which is right here, is in an absolutely baffling condition. I got out my multimeter here, which is now gone to sleep, and I have it on connectivity mode, whatever it's called. Who really knows? I'm sure somebody knows and will rudely tell me in the comments box, but anyways, if there's a connectivity, you'll hear the sound. So I checked the ground wire on here. It works. Check the white wire, and it doesn't work. And I checked the yellow wire, and it too does not work. So now I did this test initially when it was all connected, so I thought it probably, if anything, had gone bad at the stress point where it goes into the unit. And so I cut back the wire and stripped it and tested again, which is what we have now, and it still doesn't work. So somewhere in this cable there is a break, and I don't know where, I don't know why, I don't know how. It is absolutely baffling to me what happened to this cable, especially considering it was working 3 days ago and now it has zero connectivity whatsoever. So this cable is a complete mystery, and it can be a mystery in the recycle bin, because that's of no use to us anymore. So Going forward, what we're going to do is I've got this all connected up here. Oh dang it, it just came off. Well, now it's not connected up anymore, but it was. I'm going to reconnect it up again, and then I'm going to coat this in hot glue to kind of make like a handle so I can plug it in and out. Once I do that, I'm going to feed it through this, and then I'm either going to make a connection here, because for whatever reason these 3 inches of the wire is still okay. So I'm either going to make a connection here, or I'm going to solder directly to the board. It looks like it'd be relatively easy to solder directly to the board, so that's probably the route we're going to go, but I'm not entirely sure. I want to see how everything else goes. It's getting late, so I don't want to spend too much more time on this. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and fix this connection. Actually, I'm just going to completely redo it because it's not that good anyways. Then I'm going to put the hot glue on, and then we'll get some more video when I'm closer to finishing up here. Alright, so here is the new the new connection. I wonder how many people just clicked on subscribe. This is terrible, but you know what? It works, and it's actually pretty sturdy too. So I think it's going to last a long time. So, and then I just braided this together so it's not a total freak show all over the place. So now there is some residual glue in here. I got to take that out. And then I'm going to feed these wires into here and we'll make the connections. Okay, the repair is just about complete. Here's a look at the circuit board. This is where I reconnected the wires. They were initially on the other side. I decided to scrap that little lead that was on there because I figured if the rest of the wire had something weird happen to it, that part probably could too. So we went right onto the board. I couldn't put it through the hole, so I had to solder right onto the back of the resistors, and so it wasn't a super stable connection because this is a very forceful stress point with the way this is bent. I coated this all in hot glue, and it's very sturdy now, so it's not going to come off. And we're ready to put it back together now. So I'm going to record this part because I didn't show taking it apart. So I'll explain that as we put it back together. Actually, you know what? There is one more thing that I want to do. I want to add a strain relief here. So I'm just going to take some more hot glue. I'm just going to fill in right here where the cord goes out, just so that if for whatever reason that gets pulled on, it won't come out and break everything. Okay, that's all set, so now we're going to put it back together. And this was a little flaky. I had to reroute the cord in order to get this to go in correctly because this wire is a much thicker gauge than what was in there initially, so it didn't quite fit as it should. But it'll fit now with this alternative routing of the cord. And okay, why is this? Oh, what I also had to do was I had to cut off one of the tabs at the bottom because the hot glue glob was in the way of it, so I just cut that off and the problem went away. And now this is not fitting on there the way it's supposed to, and I'm wondering if that hot glue strain relief I just put on there is the culprit. Oh, now it's fitting okay. So this just snaps together like any other plastic piece of electronics. And then there's 2 screws that go in here, and 2 screws that go up at the top here by the speaker. Okay, with those 4 screws in, we have 1 more screw on the back in here. And then we just put the thing on, whatever this is called, and it is back together. So I'll connect this other speaker here and we'll plug it in and give it a test. Alright, so there we have it. It is working. It's not particularly sightly, but it works, and this will probably last a lot longer than the initial cord did, or the original cord. I don't know why I can't speak tonight. But anyways, that's that. These are fixed. Thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, and out.